Well, the pandemic did a number on theaters. Throw in streaming and inflation, it's been a bit of a double whammy. But Top Gun Maverick certainly perked up sales a bit. It is the fifth largest grossing movie ever, taking in $1.4 billion worldwide. And it did help to open the doors for moviegoers once again. Joining us now to talk about the movie biz at the Orinda Theater, their owner, Derek Zemrak. Good morning,
Hi,
Derek. How are you?
Good to see you.
Good to see you, too. Let's start with Top Gun Maverick. How big a deal was the movie? And thank goodness the distributors were smart enough to hold on to this and let it out on the back end of the pandemic.
Right. They held on for almost 3 years to release this movie, and it was perfect because it broke all kinds of records. And for the movie theaters, it was great. And we had it actually for 12 weeks and brought it back when we actually installed our new surround system from Myers Sound in Berkeley. So it was incredible.
And did it help bring other moviegoers to your theater?
Yeah, I mean, there was that clientele that, wasn't quite sure yet if they're going back to the movies, they're not going back to the movies, but it did bring people into the movie theater. So hopefully that will continue. So.
Well, let's talk about Orinda. How is the Orinda Theater faring?
Orinda Theater is doing fine, but we have to be creative. We have to keep doing things. We actually have our Live at Orinda concert series starting up next week with the great Eden Espinosa from Wicked and Rent on Broadway. So we're really looking forward to that. And that's what, early on, remember when we talked during the pandemic, I said, independent theaters, they may bounce back a little quicker than the huge multiplexes because they're corporate based and they're not used to doing diverse programming like an independent theater is doing. We have our Chilladiller Halloween party next week showing The Revenge of the Creature. Now, what theater is going to do that? We're just having fun, being creative, and we also have a 16mm film festival coming up also. So the thing is that the major corporations are really struggling. It just announced, that Cinema World filed Chapter 11 bankruptcy last week. They own 10,000 screens worldwide, and that's the Regal chain in the United States. So, it's tough. It's tough, but we have a great loyal base of community support, and that's made Orinda survive. So
we talked on the phone, or we're texting. You mentioned to me that younger people are not coming back in droves. Audience is skewing maybe on the older side. How come?
Yeah, well, that's the thing is older people, have an attachment and a nostalgia of going to the movies. The younger generation, they're used to streaming things on their iPad or watching them on their phone. So that generation is slower at coming back. So, which is a surprise. And also you have the streaming base, whereas parents are going, oh, do I really want to take the kids to that movie? Or can I stream it, for $29.95 for a week and just put the kids in front of the TV set? Now, that's not a great thing to do, but you know what I mean? That's what's happening. So we're seeing our market, the slowest group to come back is the younger kids.
Yeah.
And the parents bringing them to the movie theater.
And Disney is putting a lot of movies right to stream, which surprises me. Can they make money? Buzz Lightyear was one of the few movies you told me that actually went to the theater this year from Pixar.
Yeah, actually, the last 3 Pixar movies, Soul was the first one that went directly to streaming, and they continue to do that except for Lightyear, which didn't do very well at the box office, one of their lowest grossest movies that they ever released at the theater. So now that the major studios like Disney, if they're going more towards the streaming and they're seeing success in the streaming, they're not going to give it to the movie theaters. So that's the one other obstacle that movie theaters are facing right now is what's going to theaters, what's not going to theaters, and changing how many theaters are actually releasing to nationwide. So, we're continuing to, give good hope. And, Orinda's been around there'll be 81 years in December this year. So, we're not going anywhere. So
well, I hope
we're going to keep on fighting.
I grew up there. I remember seeing The Godfather in 1972, way back when. And nothing beats a box of popcorn and a $10 Diet Coke, right?
That's right. Now we have a full alcohol license, so it makes it a little better.
Well, there you go. Well, times have changed a little bit. Derek Zemrak, hey, thank you so much. All the best at the Orinda Theater, Derek. We appreciate it.
Talk to you soon. All right. Bye-bye.
All right, let's talk weather.